Hello there. My name is The Chap. I am a Twitch streamer, and I would like to push back against the topic of quote unquote breadtube being dead. I would like to present a lot of, I guess, YouTube channels that some are dead, some are alive, some are needing resuscitation, some are, I don't even know where. I guess you could say like the post once a year sort of situation. Um, but overall, it's thriving, but the channels are still very small, and there's somewhat of a belief that it's gone. So, first, I would like to present what I think people think of when they hear the word breadtube. I could be wrong, depending upon the individual. Obviously, I'm going through my own personal like view. But then also I'd like to present all of the ones that are like supposedly up and coming, I guess you could say, just to give a bit of diversity of thought. It's not that I'm all in favor of any of them necessarily. You know, you have a wide variety of breadth of leftist thoughts. I I don't even need to give you all the obviously no trot lol. No trot at all. Uh but yeah, I mean if you personally need to know where I'm sitting in regards to political identity, I'd say that I'm ANCOM/syndicalist, but generally speaking, I think that the power is in the working class in regards to its physical mass, general strike activity, yada yada yada. But I'll leave that to the side for now. You can always come into my stream and ask me questions. But for now, let's get on with the show. So, first of all, when I think people, when I think of what people think of when they think of breadtube, it's second thought. I could be wrong. There's some other sort of things you could probably put in the first place because non-compete famously had the freaking Kropotkin banner for a while. Breadbook Kropotkin. Obviously, there's the times for that. I didn't really get too into the nitty gritty around like the history of like the drama or whatever. I kind of came in. I don't even know. Like I'd say like 4.5-ish years ago, maybe 5. Something around there. Where supposedly like I don't know. I'm just my own thing, man. Anyway, point being is that second thought, Hakim, Ugopnik, Balkan Odyssey, Luna Oi and Non-Compete, Marxism Today, maybe? Because there was basically a lot of like 101 type shit. What is 101 type shit? You know what I mean? Same with Leslie. They used to call themselves by something else. I forget what. Mad Blender, Mad Blender, right there. But they've been gone for a while, 5 years to be. But yeah, basically, Breadtube usually known for theory, you know, classic Gramsci, classic critique on, you know, the Ben Shapiro or, you know, capitalists fucking saying about human nature, what have you. And so that's the general gist of that so far. ContraPoints, obviously, I have to just bring up this channel. Obviously, you all know that they're, you know, self-identified liberal. So like that's also aired out because of the fact that liberal electoralism is becoming more and more favorable towards, I would say, people that are of the ML flavor. I'm not trying to throw any MLs under the bus. You know, I'm just saying that generally I see a lot of liberals in ML chats on Twitch because it's generally just like watch CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, whatever else, and, you know, react to it and promise for a better, you know, state politician future, be it Vanguard or otherwise. But then obviously Renegade Cut used to be a thing, right? Sorry, I'm just randomly pivoting to Renegade Cut next tab. But did a lot of like somewhat of an anarchist view lens on the topic of conservatives, of the police, of, you know, just general, like a lot of political theory, but from an anarchist swing. There's obviously a lot of media analysis. If you don't know Renegade Cut, you know, again, my interpretation of what people think of as Breadtube. Now, the thing is that a lot of these channels that I've been going over are, I mean, they've either pivoted, like for instance, Renegade Cut pivoted into just producing like trippy music, or they're on like a hiatus, like Balkan Odyssey, for instance, I believe is on a hiatus 1 year ago. Why women have better sex under socialism. Wow. Comic blocks are awesome. Wow. But point being is a bit of a hiatus compared to the multiple month-to-month situation. Ray Ramsey's, for some reason, they fit into my my brain is for like, oh, this is classic Breadtube. They haven't posted in 5 years, even though their last video is saying that they're still alive. But they were calling out that the Amazon was burning 6 years ago. The usual neoliberalism, bad. Like re-education, another one, hasn't posted in 2 years. Really, they kind of gave up maybe 3 years ago though. Similar situation, a lot of like theory stuff being presented in a 101 sort of style of fascism, 5 steps to mutual aid, I mean, similar degree of what Second Thought would have been, pushing out. Obviously, the reason that I'm covering this topic is, I mean, it's not really obvious actually. But Elliot Sang has recently done a thing where it's like, Breadtube is dead, everybody read books. And it's like, I completely agree that people should read books. 100%. There is still information technology to use though. Like internet is definitely extremely useful. I don't think that we should just abandon the internet for fuck's sake. Obviously AI slop is taking over, and obviously how do we compete with that? But I'm about to show you a significant amount of lefty creators that people are unaware of. Not in this window. This another video essayist in some sense. There's a lot of like, what would you say, like casual video essayists that I would consider to be probably just like the classic Breadtube-ish. Because it's generally critique on capitalism. Anarch, another one, they used to do somewhat video essay material, but then they sort of, I don't even know what, they're just like doing their own thing now with, I guess, Q&As and such. But again, they used to do, but like, again, like, basically this tab is me presenting the dead part of Breadtube, in that not a lot of video essayists are coming, video essays are coming out due to the fact that the algorithms haven't expanded past this, right? So like Mexi, again, classic Breadtube, did videos about capitalism and the privatization of water and whatever, like 7 years ago. Like, Mooncat. I was saying Mooncat's still posting, I believe, 2 years ago though. And then as for like, what even is Breadtube? Is it theory? Is it news? Is it reacts? Depends, right? Prolocold I've got on this window just because, even though they've been posting fairly recently, they just give this is definitely Breadtube sort of stuff, because there's a lot of 101s. Approaching Marxism playlist. We're approaching Marxism, okay, guys? Let me just explain what a class is, what a mode of production is, what a base and superstructure is. Same with the Marxist project, right? We got the 101s, fundamentals of Marx, stuff like that. I also threw in this Noah Sampson and the Tabernacle, because I just feel like these YouTubers are similar to Elliot in a sense, or at least now, where they've been pivoting towards, which is more like conversational, instead of the old school, which like ThoughtSlime, for instance. ThoughtSlime's still posting, I believe, 4 months ago, which this is more video essays, at least. at least again, historically speaking, when it was when the topics were more, I mean, I don't even know where I'm scrolling to. But explaining ACAB. I don't exactly know what the ACAB video is, to be honest. World Cup's about, how long ago was it? 7 years ago? Yeah. So, like, I can definitely understand how Breadtube is on the slow train to nowhere. Obviously, Wisecrack. Some people may not even consider this to be a Marxist channel, but it kind of was. It was kind of a lot of philosophy shit and media analysis and all that. It wasn't really radical, right? It wasn't like you Gopnik's second thought. Hakim. I didn't even really. Did I go over Hakim much? For Hakim. I mean, Hakim did great work too, historically speaking. But I do know that they've pivoted now to podcast format. And so there's going to be less content on the video essay overall. Again, still posting, still appreciate. It's still interesting. You got Nick 1 year ago, or at least I think they did the slur video kind of recently, which was good. Not the slur part, obviously, but just like there's at least they haven't given up on the quote unquote breadtube, right? Which is what I'm trying to get at. 3 Arrows, I wasn't really watching much. The Charlie Kirk vid was okay-ish, but I don't know, I haven't seen most of these. But again, so many people used to like refer back to 3 Arrows, and so I'm just putting on this as like old school breadtube. Kind of same as Tom Nicholas, because even though Tom Nicholas is posting extremely liberal electoral sort of British politics, I guess you could say. They also have a second channel that's about the news. Old school wise, they were trying to explain colonialism, Society of the Spectacle, Death of an Author, Foucault, Derrida, neoliberalism, the sort of bringing people into understanding what leftism was, at least back in the time. So yeah, there you go. That's, in some sense, I can see how people can come to the conclusion that Breadtube is sort of winding down, and again, like maybe pivoting to freaking podcasts or some shit like that. Which is sad, because like I know how YouTube videos get pushed out, in the sense that once you post it, you have a period of time in which it goes like viral or whatever the fuck. And then unless there's a specific niche audience that YouTube wants to pick up, the video kind of dies down. And so like this class analysis or any kind of pick a video that's over a year old won't get yeeted into the popular domain. And so that's where it comes into where's the new content. So let's start. Where's the window that I want? Okay, it's here. Let me just go all the way to A. So 8 and 9. They have 7K subs. They're doing the classics. Oh, this is the most popular videos. Whoops. But Necro Power, Hyper Reality, a lot of niche. This is the Mega Machine. So they've been at it for a while, but obviously, I guess I post every 4 months. You could say 3 months, whatever. Just saying, this is one. They're doing material, lefty, heavily theory involved and philosophy involved material, small channel. So when somebody says that Breadtube is dead, yeah, this isn't getting found. I throw in Adu. Adu is an Australian Breadtuber, in a sense. I don't know what else to like phrase it as. We could maybe cook up another name, But they do a lot of Australian politics, especially right now where the housing stuff is popping off. But when you go to the older material about communism being necessary and what have you, talking about the boomerang effect, what have you, just understanding Australian shit too. But yeah, like saying that this is a clickbait in regards to fascism are necessary when it's talking about how liberalism eventually necessitates fascism in order to react against any kind of pushback. But yeah, they're a communist freaking YouTuber that talks about like heavily about unionization, which is what we need, be it like tenant unions and such. They're very much in on that. Alice is a French YouTuber. They do French stuff, JK. This is, see, so not a lot of theory involved, right? A lot of like pop culture. Most people, I don't even, this could probably have fit on the other like tab or whatever, but because they're constantly posting, I thought that it was worthwhile. Like Second Thought, for instance, is constantly posting, but I didn't really talk about Second Thought. Let me just talk about Second Thought for a minute. Because Second Thought's sort of the big one, right? So what happened to Second Thought is, I think, just overproduction. Like they kind of, and I mean, no offense to Second Thought at all. Like I kind of get it, especially when they're doing family and whatever. I don't know if it's the Patreon situation where they're like, because they're forced to, well, not forced, but because they post content a few weeks prior on Means TV and then to YouTube, the topics are very vague, and they've given up on like the theory stuff and just on the hitting the panic button, which again, for people that have watched their older material, is very, very 101 good shit. There's a certain point in which it stopped being 101 good shit. Maybe around here, in regards to just the age of the channel. But instead of like explaining how capitalism destroys feminism, we're just talking about Trump's insane plan for Gaza or what have you, or just maybe just explaining the right away, which again makes perfect sense for the fascist uprising in America and whatever. So again, it is definitely necessary, but when we're talking about Breadtube, it's like when like some people, I guess, say that Breadtube is dead, maybe consider the theory and the philosophy rather than the cameras that are everywhere in front of your yard, you know. Which I think that both sort of types of works are necessary. So, yin yang sort of deal. Anyway, but they do somewhat. Alice does more. Again, like new stuff. You can see that it's sort of riffing off the similar thing as what Second Thought's been up to. Alexander Avila, similar sort of, but not real. Kind of like the past 3 videos have been Lux Max, Charlie Kirk, and Maha. But prior to that, very Breadtube. Very, just explaining sort of, I mean, the basics about rainbow capitalism, or the basics around, transgenderism. Which one's like, this how conservatives invented gender ideology is like a must. Like, if you're a leftist, just watch it. The AI videos kind of got them in a bit of a spotlight because of the fact that Disney and Adobe are betting on pumping up indie artists to defend themselves for the potential that they could monopolize on them intellectual property rights by just buying it out once stylization is possible to be patented. That's a whole other thing. Anyway, Anna Fern still posting. The terminal online urge to log off. There's a lot of like this stuff. Everybody just get offline. Read a book. Is Breadtube dead because everybody's telling you to just go outside and read books? I don't know. I would say that it's still not dead yet. Anna Boca. So they've been explaining neoliberalism recently. I would say somewhat up and coming. I mean, they got 50k subs already, but And that's small. Like, second thought, nearly 2 mil. Now we're talking about like 50k subs and under, maybe around, I don't even know what I've got tabbed up here, but Andrewism is still making Breadtube content 9 days ago, 1 month ago, 2 months ago. Again, there's the divide about like anarchist theory, socialist theory. What is the difference? I think we should just all learn from each other. Hot take, I know. Tragic. Same with Bad Mouse. Hot take, I know. People learning from each other. People, the drama. I mean, the drama around like Hakim and Bad Mouse, for instance, I don't think is as, what do you even call it? Like talked about as, let's say, the Bad Empanada and FD Signify. Like I don't really pay attention much to whatever's going on over there, nor did I really pay attention to much. I'm just trying to take note of whatever each side says, and both sides. No, I'm just kidding. And then I just pick the most left side possible. I'm sorry. Bestie Mark's still making content. They're kind of on an ML spill at the moment in regards to explaining, a lens of Lenin. But all the material, fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. All I can say is that. Absolutely amazing. I should say that for most for most of the things that I bring up. Obviously, this is just sort of like a expose of Breadtubers. Ben, I don't know too much about his prime material, actually. I don't know anything about this. But their recent stuff about just the uptick in fascism in America has been good. Especially, most recently, just their critiques of just an analysis of how fascism is growing within the online culture. Again, is Breadtube. Not theory. See, that's the thing, is like, where's the theory? And so, like, there's something like this. Where is it? Elliot saying, this guy's got a book club online. He's got 4K subscribers. But it's not really a book club online. Supposedly they do book club on their Patreon or whatever. But you can kind of go through their reading group in a similar way, right? You can back and forth with their ideas. And so it's not dead. And obviously there is, again, a combination about book reading and video essays. Even Elliot Sang could I mean, there probably are. I have no idea. I'm not subbed to like every single person's freaking Patreon. I'm sorry, fake leftist. This one sort of like came out of the blue. So like a few, maybe like, I don't even know, like I guess 2 years ago, I came across this channel and they were posting mostly cartoon stuff, supposedly. I mean, shouldn't say cartoon stuff because I'm not diminishing. But now they're just like on a explain everything, or not everything. You can't really explain everything in a video essay. But just deep analysis on Haiti, on Sudan, on takes on Israel and what have you. Very Breadtube sort of history content. How Israel has nukes and such. But I mean, actually, this isn't a small channel, but nearly 1 million subscribers, 800k subscribers. So I guess maybe they know of them, and by they I'm referring to Elliot. Like, I do wonder, like, do they know of all these people? Climate Town, obviously a bit of a lib, but still very, very relevant. I think if you're going to explain why the system is working in the way that it does, is because it's built that way, from the very beginning in regards to them ripping up the trains, for instance. Obviously, there's environmentalism involved. The thing is with Breadtube is that there's not a lot of environmentalism necessarily. Like, there's our changing climate is like probably the big one that's going to pop up soon in this expose a bit, but so there's not a lot of theory here, but there is a bit of just somewhat of a material and historical analysis. That is always going to be necessary on the left, right? This YouTuber has been going over, like, I guess you could say, just analyzing fascism, and then also, yeah, just how American culture is going. I don't know. Again, bread. That's what I want. Is like, where's the theory? Where's the theory? It's there. Members only. Why do people post members only? I'm just kidding. YouTubers need to make money too. Everybody's, but paywalling kind of makes me sad. Because how do you share, right? It's like, as an educator, it's a bit tired, but I get it. But yeah, this YouTuber is more into the I guess you could say the psychedelic debate. Yeah, just psychedelic debate in general. Emma's Wild World is definitely more, I guess, solar punk-esque type view on the world, but then also Doomer. I mean, these are the main two videos I've been pulling up in regards to how this YouTuber is relating to Breadtube, but it's still not. Again, I'm prodding at where's the theory. Same with Emplemon, big YouTuber, not really Breadtube, until you get to their video about Office Space, for instance. Yeah, that's kind of it, actually, just that one. Well, everything else is sort of like, eh, eh. The Pandora's Box one, though, and American Psychos. American Psychos one is sort of a class analysis of old money, new money capitalists, and like how they differentiate. But other than that, yeah. This is definitely Breadtube. Definitely Breadtube. I probably could have put this in the other window I wanted to put up, because there is a window I have up here, which is more of the philosophy channels. But they kind of didn't make it to the philosophy. I mean, they kind of did. The philosophy is there, but it's I feel like it's closer to Breadtube than like philosophy tube, or like whatever you want to call that. I don't know. But like yes, there's lefty video essayists that are like Breadtube, but then do like philosophy. That's their main shtick. Like CCK philosophy, plastic pills. Yeah. Oh yeah. What else? Freda. So Freda, I think this would have also fitted in the more like maybe classic Breadtube instead. But I mean, they're still posting. They're still posting. Finding Subtext is still posting. I don't know what else to say other than they're still posting. I mean, 3 months ago. But see, I'm waiting for, like, this is Fads does news and stuff. Not exactly full on lefty, and now, like, you know, it's look, this is my first long form video that I'm trying to do. Okay, George is the most underrated, maybe even unknown YouTuber. I mean, they have 515k subscribers, but they would be the most non-Breadtube viewing, I don't know, leftists, I guess. I don't think you would ever be able to find a George subscriber, I guess, in the wild. I don't know why, but George just for some reason just makes me fucking laugh. GDF, classic historian, basically. I don't know how he does it. I don't know who I don't know who he is. Again, less theory, more just the history of what the fuck shit is going on. Like explaining how nuking Japan was unnecessary. Just stuff like that. So, yeah. Again, Breadtube-esque. This guy is like a hardcore DSA ML. I get it. I get it. I just throw him in here because like I think this is what maybe if people think of Breadtube, this guy maybe rattles around. Hiding in private wouldn't be popped up as a topic whatsoever as a Breadtuber. Mostly because 99.99% of the videos about Persona 4 and Jungian philosophy. I don't know why. I've never watched them. The only one I saw of his Jung stuff is his his video debunking Jordan Peterson not understanding Carl Jung at all, which was interesting. But the reason I obviously put him in here is because of the debunking of prosperity gospel, which apparently goes back 900 years, not just America, surprisingly. And then like how the Confederate slavers have been basically still to this very day, obviously using their slavery wealth. It's disgusting, but good shit. In regards to his yeah, just what is a like? You tell me that's not Breadtube esque. I dare you. Hint is interesting. Hint could probably nearly point into the philosophy category as well, but there's not much philosophy. It's just like sort of what would I call it? Just video essay, I guess. But it's far more of a critique. There's a lot of critique. Like the one that for Who Stole Our Color, that's basically just anti-colonialism vibes. So obviously Breadtube. Maybe you've never heard of them. Again, 23k subs, very small. Jacob Geller, very big, very gamer. But still very Breadtube, you know, analysis of Nuremberg, analysis of Spec Ops. Like, even he leans into the game topic a lot, but it also provides a lot of Breadtube sort of vibes, like pre-apocalypse art in regards to like how basically like I guess like hope is commodified in a sense. And then obviously state execution methods, very Breadtube. Again, to me, I just say very Breadtube. What the fuck am I even not saying, honestly? Jarrett has been shitting on the military-industrial complex in regards to their propaganda, shitting on the grifters on the internet, generally speaking. Solid vids. That's all I really have to say about that. 91k subs, again, fairly small. I don't know if Elliot's ever heard it. Poor Elliot. But I know it was like a rage bait title. I assume the whole like Breadtube is dying, but like, is it? I mean, Wisecrack is dead, but the guys from Wisecrack are still posting. Both this guy and the Michael guy. The Michael guy is sort of lib. That makes me sad. It makes me sad. I don't know where like the Breadtube energy went out of Wisecrack. I don't know if it went into this guy. This guy's doing media analysis. Obviously, has extreme left bias, which is good. That's what we need. Jimmy the Giant, mega lib. Gary Stevenson, I believe, is like a fucking psyop in regards to the fact that everything just has to, for some reason, for liberals, has to boil down to taxing the rich. No more, no less. Just that. And it makes me sad. Hopefully Jimmy the Giant can lean more left. I've seen him sort of do semi-collabs with further left. But got the hopes. Good videos overall. You know, some videos I'd say 5 out of 10. Other ones I'd be like 8. Generally hits at least half of the, you know, analysis that may be necessary for people to be looking into things. Jesse Gender, I think this is like somewhat classic Breadtube-ish, in the sense that like, I mean, classic Breadtube, I'm sorry to say, is like Marxist analysis of Shrek. And so like Marxist analysis of Star Trek is kind of close, stuff like that. You get it. Jessica Burbank, I kind of want to say that they would, that she was doing like video essays, but it's sort of just like a video essays about surveillance state. It's just like surveillance state critique. Not very much Breadtube, I guess. Just news in a sense, but more like aware. Sort of what's like again. It's like sort of what Second Thought is leaning towards is becoming a Jessica Burbank. Like we're kind of getting close to journalism. Similar to this guy, right? This guy, he was posting video essays trying to explain sort of China versus America and conservatives versus socialists or whatever. But then they're leaning into, well, what even is a China? Although there's a debunking of this Nazi Zhang guy, so that's, again, decent. But yeah. Clay's is sort of like just debunks myths about China, or like, it's not even debunk, it's more like just a materialist lens about what the fuck is going up in China. So yeah, because obviously China's a big topic on the left when it comes to Breadtube, but then like people need like the actual what the fuck is going on there without just not knowing anything. Good material. Cane Skittles, maybe the most Breadtube of all Breadtubers to ever be Breadtube. I think that, yeah, Cane Skittles is like Breadtube through and through. Just like media analysis. What is fascism? Explaining the social model when it comes to disability. Like, but then you have the news slop in the middle about freaking Jeremy Corbyn when it was relevant 5 years ago. But then back to an analysis, like even an analysis of how to do analysis when it comes to authorial intent. Rolls off the tongue word, but then back to a fucking media analysis within regards to class, ACAB. You name it, it's there. Neoliberalism bad. ACAB. Fucking tragedy of the commons debunk. Amazing. That's and like this was debunking of the tragedy of the commons 11 months ago. 11 months ago, bizarrely enough, I'm trying to think, like, is that dead? It is, in a sense. I mean, they posted a video about the Green Knight 2 months ago, which was a good analysis. But I would assume that Cane Skittles is going to cook up yet another Breadtube video. It may take time. I'm not a video creator myself. As you can see, this is just a complete fail job, but bear with me. John the Duncan, kind of trying to kick up some drama recently when it comes to fucking the topic of worker cooperatives. But generally speaking, it's sort of in the classic Breadtube sort of pile, right? I don't know what his oldest material is, actually. Laissez-faire. The Free Market Myth, Part 2. Wow. White privilege. Like, okay, yeah. Very, very Breadtube. What is neoliberalism? What is Legal Kimchi. Still posting. Still posting. It's a Breadtuber that's alive. A Breadtuber that's posting and alive. Why are we saying that it's gone? CRT, what they get wrong about critical race theory. Like, obviously 3 fucking years ago. But the point being is that this is still a Breadtuber that's posting. Literate machine. Literate machine, I'm still trying to understand their politics. Not really getting it, but very much very based. Especially when it comes to their techno-feudalism and cyberpunk dystopia vids. Very Breadtube. Highly recommend at least checking them out. 20k subs. I don't even know how much. Like, I keep thinking of the Elliot Sang guy because of, like, I'm just like, how many subs does that guy even have? Let's find out. I'm curious. Okay, so he has 200k subs, 226k to be exact. I wonder what their algorithm looks like. I hope it does. I hope it's well. Again, this isn't a poke at him as well. This is more of the whole, like, where did Breadtube go? Lindsay, I don't know too much about. They did recently a really good video on Ms. Rachel, which I would very Breadtube coded video. I assume that material is also somewhat Breadtube-esque. Breadtube-esque, I don't know. Again, nobody. Like, how we do? Well, actually, I'll get to the. Well, you'll see in a bit that there are still people, to this very day, that are posting 101 videos for what is communism, Marxism, blah blah blah. You'll see. You'll see. Lily has been sort of all over the place. We got the trans topic, we got the surveillance topic, we got the art under capitalism topic, feminist to far right pipeline topic, still Breadtube. 12 days ago, recent post, somewhat criticizing Dawkins. Amazing. Marcus. Marcus is one that is, I would assume, a very small other than that, but 57k subs. That's good. I mean, that's what we need. Shitting on hyper competence in regards to the, you know, what the fuck, looks maxing. Capitalist propaganda sinking into TV shows. Why Wally is capitalist propaganda, obviously leaning into Mark Fisher's material. Just great video analysis overall, for the most part. I'd recommend. I mean, all these people are check-outable. Like, this guy, this fucking guy. This guy is it. This guy is boots on the ground, ready to talk about nature, with his little zine creation. Wants to talk about, you know, Breadtube stuff, like colonialism and coffee, and colonialism and lawn, and colonialism and climate change, and extinctions, and sugar colonialism. Again, just good material, very unique. There's a lot of other words, but I guess we'll go with unique. Mars in Theory, same thing. Obviously, they're leaning into the video analysis stuff. Fascism of Common Sense is amazing video. But yeah, they just break down, I mean, with media analysis as well, the We Happy Few video game, for instance, pulling from that to explain the fascism of joy, whatever. I can't recall. This was 8 months ago. But they made a video 4 weeks ago about media analysis, or it's still, yeah. Again, Breadtube is still alive. I'm telling you. Max Morrow, ready to freaking stick a flag in the ground and, I don't even know. Team what? I don't, like, he's got an anarchist video and then he's got a Stalin bad video, but, like, he's not necessarily anarchist. He's not very Stalin either. But he's not liberal either. He's not, yeah, it's just classic Breadtube trying to have the conversation, trying to throw around whatever he's figured out. Mika LeFay is still posting amazing video essays about anti-authoritarian clowns, about, like, carnival, how education is commodified, and so then, like, people, like professors in the social sciences, aren't actually willing to sort of revolt in a sense, or at least be radical in a sense, because their PhDs are basically like valued where they don't want to lose it, just because it's so expensive to get, for instance. They have just unique perspective about lefty topics, fascism in Japan, history, all that stuff. Moon Channel, Mooney. So, I mean, I would align this guy similar to Legal Kimchi. They're both lawyers, at least they say that they are. At least to some degree. I don't even know if they actually, they kinda, they meme into it. But, and they both kind of cover a lot of, like, law stuff, especially the Moon Channel. Talking about politics, soft power, anime, gastro diplomacy, all sorts of breadtube stuff. Um, recent post 2 months ago. They have an ice video from 4 months ago. Very much not a dead breadtuber. Michael Burns. So this is another wisecrack one. He kind of just wants reformism. Yeah. I'm putting him in here just because wisecrack was like far more radical than yeah. But yeah. I mean, he's sort of like team read books, which is what Elliot Sang is saying, which I completely agree with, but I think that his algorithm is also pretty fried, but I hope it can get better. Maybe these suggestions might be able to help. Mia Mulder, amazing breadtuber, posted 3 months ago. Oh yeah, I remember the latest video wasn't... the latest video was kind of a miss in a sense, but their other video is very, very based. Very, very, very based. Yeah. They even tried to do electoralism just to explain that they feel like they may have been more effective if they just kept bread tubing unironically, because you kind of need a lot of politicians to push anything. And so when you become a politician and you're writing a bill that can never be passed, you're kind of stuck. But other than that, I mean, the material is just breadtube all around. Yeah. A lot of topics on the trans issue and like, or issue, it's not really issue, the trans, I mean, chuds sort of put, you know, the back and forth conversation around chuds being concerned with trans people. The trans debate, I guess you could call it. Not a banana. Holy shit. 96 subscribers. They have like one of the best video essays IMO about the Espionage Act, or you could maybe even say that this is about the first Red Scare to possibly second Red Scare for I forget how much it dabbles into that, but just what is everybody doing? Why isn't like everybody somehow like curious at what they could do to amplify said video essay? Here I am. This is my I've plugged it wherever I can. I'm just a little old me doing my thing. But please, 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 if I could, if I was live right now on stream, I would right click, freaking copy link, and I would be posting it and spamming it in the chat. But holy shit, they just posted a video today. We checked it out today. It was amazing. And Breadtube is dead. Like, that's the thing, is like, ouch, ouch, ouch. Breadtube is not dead. Overzealous posted recently too, 6 days ago. They're still posting video essays. A lot of history with this guy. It's all good shit. It's all good shit. A lot of, obviously, debunking of Israeli propaganda because, you know, we're dealing with that. But there's also a lot of older content about the Jakarta method, basically, and all the rest of it. That's kind of all I need to really say. All the rest of it. Yeah. Our Changing Climate, classic Breadtube. They're kind of leaning into the true crime at the moment. Actually, they did an Iran war video, but they've done 3 posts at least. They had a break, but they only had a break for like a month. No, wait, 2 months. But they're still working hard at just Breadtube. They haven't given up at all. And you're telling me that Breadtube is dead? Please. Please, what do you mean? That's an insult. Prairie Fire. Just please check them out. They have 23k subs. They have video essays about the history of the freaking flotillas that went to Gaza. Most people don't know how long it's been going along for, like the history of it. It's sad. It's fucking sad that people don't genuinely know how long it's that people have been trying to get aid to Palestine for. Even Cuba. I was nearly going to say Cuba. How long have they been doing aid to Cuba? We need a video essay on that too. Where get column. But 2-hour video analysis on ACAB. And it only has 8K views. Where's the 2 million second thought view? You know what I mean? Like, it's painful that these videos also again aren't getting amplified. Introduction to Palestinian cinema over a year ago. Debunking Nazi propaganda. Like, that's like. But yeah, they've been posting a month ago, 5 days ago, whatever. Like, it's good shit. Radical Reviewer, same thing, still posting. They've been on a bit of a hiatus, but generally speaking, you want the books? Here's the books. This is literally the bookworm, or the book dog, the book doggo. Yeah, like, I mean, you got Noah Samson collabs. What are we doing? I mean, they've collabed with a lot worse people. I mean, I don't know why I said worse people. Noah Samson's good, not Boaz. But put the history behind, learn about the material, read your freaking book. Maybe you got a red pen out. You want to learn about what MLs think of the world, lol. But the history, the history videos are just generally good. You want to learn about peasant revolts. You want to learn about witch hunts. Great video essays, lefty fucking video essays. And then, yeah, they've been doing theory stuff. Great videos about the history of the Internationale. Like, super, super good. You go back and you have the Marxism 101 shit. Just straight up, you have Kollontai. You got Ida B. Wells, like shit that people should generally know straight off the bat if they were a leftist, self-proclaimed leftist. Do they even know Ida B. Wells, the freaking journalist that was for, like, anti-lynching? Rev and Reeve, they posted recently, so that means they're still alive. They're posting about like a 3-hour analysis, probably one of the best Gaza analysis of Praxis. I mean, the thumbnail is what do. Like, if you want to what do, there's a video essay about what do, rather than just being a liberal and voting hard or sweaty. What are we working with? 18K subs. Concerned. I probably should have put this at the beginning of the fucking video, this video, because youch, what do? Maybe if I'm thinking, can I edit this in? It's okay, we'll figure it out. Maybe I can. Rohan Davis. So this guy's been doing video essays. Amazing. We got Breadtube. We got Breadtube for days, bro. You want to learn about Kashmir? First of all, the Cogito guy did a decent one like a couple of days ago, but if you wanted somewhat more heavy on the history side of it, this is one too. But yeah, they cover, I guess, like Southwest Asia just topics, especially the fascism in India. A lot of fascism in India. Yeah. It's, again, they're still posting, not dead. Not dead. Breadtube, not dead. Riverwand, still posting. Again, because Breadtube is not dead. Just criticizing, like, not even criticizing, just breaking down what the fuck is going on. And, yeah, that's kind of all I can really get on that. Revolutionary thought, somewhat theory, somewhat news, somewhat Cuba, somewhat Russia. Just Breadtube. Maybe people can say, I'm not Breadtube, I'm Coroni Breadtube. Like, this isn't capitalism, it's crony capitalism. I don't know. It's Breadtube. This is one that I found recently. Scott Anderson. Why am I keep clicking on that? They debunked ground news pretty decently. A mild critique. That's what we need, a mild critique on ground news. Everybody knows that, I mean, ground news relies upon the Overton window, and the Overton window, as presented by most liberals, are a psyop. In that, if you move the Overton window further to the right, it kind of becomes a psyop. And so, because the Overton guy, Jonathan Overton, that made it, was working for right-wing think tanks to present a way, like an analysis of how to push people more to the right. And yeah, ground news somewhat favors the current Overton window, which is further to the right. But yeah, anyway, another smaller 3K sub YouTuber. Sarah Davies Baker. Breadtuber that we first found by them doing a video that most... How do I word this? Most cat people are leftists, supposedly. Apoliticism in the pet community, how pet influencers can create safer spaces. Supposedly, they just lean left generally. I mean, caring for animals. Wow. But they've been leaning more into the video essay stuff. I don't think that they used to. A lot of cat stuff, yeah. But now it's like billionaire bunkers. Did you know that freaking Steve Bannon was working on the Geosphere project? Weird facts about whatever the fuck. The recent Doppelgangers video obviously cites Naomi Klein's book Doppelganger, just to pull. I mean, I don't even know if you could. Is there like bread book? Is it a bread tube? Is there bread book? Like, would Naomi Klein's like shock doctrine be like bread book? I don't think I've ever come across bread book or the bread books. Maybe there could be like a whole YouTube channel just as bread books. No one steal my idea. Intellectual property, JK. Do what you want. Somebody's probably going to. You can say. Ryan White. So this guy popped off with his video on why is there no alt-left pipeline. Completely forgot what I said. I'm just bringing it up. That's how I remember this channel was even like a topic. Still posting. Mass shooting happened near him though. Big Sag. Classic America. But yeah. Breadtube. Breadtube's very vague, right? Obviously. Sean, I definitely should have put Sean in the like OG Breadtube no shit Sherlock. Cause actually I don't even know that old material. None of this is familiar to me. But they're definitely in Breadtube now. I don't know when they started. But yeah. Still posting. They're a bit they're not I shouldn't say slow. I mean they make 4-hour long videos. So there's that. But you can always expect a new Sean video inevitably, and it would probably fit in the Breadtube category. The canvas. The canvas goes hardcore. I better not scroll down too far because their thumbnails are kind of risque. But generally, Breadtube, as Breadtube can get Breadtube. You know, do I just keep saying Breadtube? Need I say more? Canadian anarchist, but just generally Breadtube. A lot of art analysis, like actual art analysis, not like movie or video. No, like paintings in the Louvre. Sort of, although that's a photo. That's a photo. He recently did a 1 hour and 44-minute video on what is fascism, and then he posted a video maybe like this week that went for like I think 3 hours about the guide to Antifa, but it got taken down supposedly. I think it's like on hiatus from YouTube by the forcing of YouTube taking it down. But he'll be back. Maybe he'll post like a censored video about it. I'm not too sure. But check him out. Big subscriber count, but I think it's because like there's an art community in there somehow. FT Signifier, most people know. The drama. I'm not really too much of an FT Signifier watcher, although I do cherry pick from time to time. Because, yeah. If it's media analysis with FT Signifier, I kind of, it's not too much of like, I'm not a Diddy hip hop listener, so yeah, I just pick what I'm interested in. Like, yeah, that's just what it is. But people would say Breadtube all the same, like critiquing conservatism, just generally the gist of the left in general, and Breadtube in general, if not a one. I mean, it's in theory, it should be 101 stuff, in theory. But, because I guess not really. It's a large category. Skip intro, media analysis. It's just media, you know, that's ACAB analysis. You can just go to the propaganda debunking 20 fucking videos, 23 videos. Solid work. Simply Radical. Okay, now this is the one where I'm saying that people are still posting OG 101 level videos recently. And when I say recently, I mean 2 years ago to 1 year ago, which is recent. Okay, if you're doing capitalist realism explained at least a year ago, that's fresh. That's fucking we're chilling over here. Just saying. I mean, I think they're MLM, not multi-level marketing. So we're not gonna all get rich, sadly. One day somebody will get that working, JK. The Forest and the Trees. This one's more chill, talking about soil punk. You know, instead of solar punk, we got soil punk. We're going hardcore. This is next level rewilding. Overall, unique, chill. Humans are good for the planet potentially. How to grow something like the Amazon. Like just general good vibes. Yeah, seedless. Like it's like a critique of the seedless society in the sense that we've forgotten all about seeds. I don't know if people be getting into nature on the left. Visit your local community garden, I beg. Spooky, scary socialist. Solid OG Breadtuber in the sense that his their classic anti-communist argument ever. Just solid videos of recent. They woke up after 4 years, a 4-year break, just to go after Israeli propaganda and what have you. So there's that. Soren, this is a smaller one, 3K subs, doing media analysis, but also just like analyze. Like this video here is good because it's putting Palestine and Ukraine in comparison without being too problematic. There's next to no comparison, obviously, which is sort of what they're get at. You know, they're like, yeah, no, there's a genocide over here. There's not much of, you know, it's yeah. They European vibes too. There's not much European vibes within the theory side of Twitch. Actually, that's a lie. I don't know. People try. Solarpunk Alana. They have a good analysis of solarpunk generally, but also they critique rich people. Rich people colossal bioscience, right? Why is Peter Thiel investing in de-extinction? Does Peter Thiel and other random billionaires want direwolves, or is there something deeper? Land back topics. Very Breadtube. Very 4 days ago post. Why are we saying the Breadtube is dead? The leftist cooks. They're still posting. Abolishing borders. Do I need it? Like, just... That is leftism. Stateless, moneyless, classless society, please, I beg. Zasman is more... Is this Breadtube? Um, so the Zatzman is more. I mean, I'm sure there's like a million channels like this, obviously. Um, I guess it's just like conditions under capitalism analysis. In the fact that like living at home can't be that bad. And sort of like the complexities, the comparisons, like how, families used to be. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff like that. A lot of memes. Very good editing. The stories we tell. The stories we tell is sort of what you kind of maybe would expect Second Thought to have like turned into IMO. And that's not a poke at Second Thought. Second Thought obviously doing what it's doing. But when we're talking about like an hour-long video analysis, was Second Thought ever going to get to, or was it always going to be 15 minutes? I'm not too sure. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Second Thought's be posting on them other paywalled websites, so I can't really say for certain how they line up, because I only ever saw the first, the F word, when Second Thought posted on his freaking YouTube channel and then took it down, and I was like, oh, I can't share it anymore, when it was like hella good analysis of freaking Mussolini shit. But anyway, derail. Yeah, this guy's just a very nice person, just posting Breadtube video essays with only 40k subs. I mean, 40k is, it's big. But it's not big, like it's not like 2 million big. It's like probably the reason why Elliot Sang doesn't know him. Small, but maybe if I flag them here, people will be like, hey, maybe these titles look interesting. Maybe interesting. Obviously, some are better than others. Depends on personal preference. But yeah, check him out. The Quiet Part recently posted a video on the history of American pedophile presidents. America has a lot of problematic presidents. 250 years. Would that be right? Yeah. Worse. Although I'm sure it goes back even further, technically, if you kept on doing research. But yeah, The Quiet Place has just been doing actual praxis, boots on the ground stuff against ICE. Journalism. I think they like to call themselves a journalist. Not saying that they are, I guess. They're very, what would you call it? Independent, I guess would be the word. Highly recommend 9k subs. Where's the Elliot gang? Uncivilized. Holy shit. Like the new Second Thought, I guess I may say. I mean, I know that like two guys, 2 people ago, I was saying the new Second Thought, but this one too. I mean, again, I'm not a poke at Second Thought too much. I just feel like when a video comes out of Second Thought, it's like 3 months old of the topic. Uncivilized has finger on the pulse, just straight up finger on the pulse. We're talking about Muslim women, in the sense of like, because of the children getting bombed of recent, right? I mean, even that is somewhat of an old topic, and I've assumed that Uncivilized is still like posting on their Patreon or whatever prior, which, again, I get it. I really do wish that YouTube would get fresh off the press stuff, but I get it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not too sure what their posting habits are, but very, very, yeah, again, finger on the pulse topics. But also a lot of history, a lot of theory, or like theory issues. You know what I mean. A lot of analysis. Like this one, the West. If you only have to try one of the videos once to start with, I highly recommend the West First Persian Empire. it goes into the fact that the West is a complete myth in that the whole like democracy shit and like liberal idealistic narratives of equality goes back to Cyrus the Great. I don't really would want to call him the Great, but hey, they want to call him the Great. He said that free the slaves and freedom of religion and all that. So, but basically the analysis of all that in the way back in the day got pushed into the founding fathers of America, and they basically co-opted a whole bunch of their thought to then do their propaganda, calling the state equal, even though obviously shit ain't equal. But big channel, 400k, they probably know. Unlearning economics, similar-ish topic in regards to the fact that they do a lot of sort of 101 stuff, econ stuff though, like trying to go over, like, at least have the conversation of labor value, exchange value, workplace democracy. Do collabs with Sean. Response to, wait, is this a debate stuff? I don't think I watched this far back, but again, leftist conversation. Explaining how free stuff is good. The usual. I think their biggest one of recent was about the air we breathe, which goes into the history of pollution in a sense. And this is all alphabetical order because, yeah, now we're at Zoe B. Zoe B is a teacher. They used to do videos about how teaching has its flaws in the current economic model, in the current curriculum model. And then making fun of Ben Shapiro, making fun of Andrew Tate, the usual. But yeah, check them out. Debunked Jordan Peterson recently. Again, classic Breadtube. Zoe Baker. Just a lot of what is communism 10 months ago? What is communism? What is the proletariat? Where am I? Where did all these come from? Anyway, hopefully Elliot checks this out. There's technically more to the video that I would like to bring up. Let's go with niche channels that are either posted one video that is good, or don't post anymore. Slow Start. Amazing video about Amazon's patents. Just 10 out of 10. Spooky. Just the wage cage. Literally, if you don't know the wage cage, it's literally a patent. Red Plateaus. I don't believe they post anymore. 4 years ago. Marxism 101. Holy shit. 101. 101. just Breadtube. Doing Breadtube stuff. I guess this is somewhat of the crypt of Breadtube in a sense. Radical History. Britain and American Eugenics inspired Nazis 4 years ago. Doesn't post anymore. Amazing channel. Got 10k subs. Got a bunch of views on the last video, but disappeared into the abyss. Yeah, disappeared into the abyss. Slow Start again is still posting, but they're doing kind of like analysis on just silly companies. Or company history, I guess. Again, like fairly left view. Querencia, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Why Capitalism Always Fails, Marx in the fucking thumbnail. Yanni Varoufakis with the fucking techno-feudalism, debunking Curtis Yarvin's fucking bullshit fascist slop. Yeah, just talking about the usual lefty stuff. They don't post much. I'm not sure. I think it's just a small YouTuber. 700, nearly 800 subs. Don't know where they went, but I guess making some more. Opus? Opus is a new channel. This is fresh off the press in a sense. They got 3K subs. Just a great AI video. Makes you think differently about AI. Maybe you might have some pushback against how whatever the fuck they think, but generally speaking, a new way to view technology in that it is... Actually, I won't spoil it for you. AI does to us what American cheese did to food. That's all you need to know. Max Murphy. If just please watch the slow cancellation of the future video, please. Please. If you're a content creator of any kind, please. Graeber. That's all he knows, really, Graeber. No, I'm kidding. There's a lot of Graeber. Holy shit, is there a lot of Graeber. Santa Claus is exploitative capitalist. It's a great YouTuber. 2K subs. Very amazing. Labor Kyle hasn't posted for 2 years, but somewhat just Breadtube media analysis YouTuber. A lot of hope, a lot of dreams, a lot of nostalgia. But yeah, I guess I didn't grow fast. I don't even know. I hope they grow. I hope they come back. Jasper has one video that's 5 hours long, debunking transphobia. This is the most in-depth analysis you'll ever have in a YouTube video, possibly ever. It's like their only video that isn't just a meme. Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yep. Jan Writer. This is a lot of non-English content about, I believe, the Philippines, but they have a few video essays about how neoliberalism failed the Philippines, as well as Karl Marx and what he thought about liberal human rights, which is that it's crock of shit, obviously. But yeah, they're still kind of posting, but just small. The reason I'm putting out here is because it's a small one with at least one vid that's solid. In human form, hasn't posted for 10 months, but they used to post somewhat frequently. You know, analyzing American anti-intellectualism, analyzing surveillance capitalism, Red Scare, with a lot of old footage. I like that old footage. But yeah, solid Breadtuber, I would say. Ex Libris, they have one video. As I'm saying, this is somewhat like a crypt in a sense, this whole tab, but why it's always like this for a revolution, just a history of revolutions in a sense, or at least the vibe. It's very much a vibe check. If you're curious about, you know the whole like history repeats or rhymes or whatever, that's basically that. It's on the topic of revolution. Empire in Focus. 1K subs makes me so sad. Makes me so... They have video essays about neocolonialism, unequal exchange, private intellectual property rights, and yeah, colonial infrastructure. Very Breadtube, but I don't know where they are. Someone get them on the phone. The Territoria, they did a good... I don't actually understand this YouTuber in a sense. I think that just... So they started off with an interview on Kohai, and this is about like degrowth communism. Very communist coded. Great video. And then they did an Okinawa video, and then they did safe injection science. Just analysis, but like boots on the ground documentary interview. Like, this is a proper fucking documentary. Like, straight up, this is just a proper documentary. But yeah, they're kind of just chilling, I guess, at 700 subs, because I guess they're proper like, to say that, again, the Breadtube is not dead. It's just buried. It's, Cybernetic Siren. Maybe has one of the best Breadtube videos to ever be a Breadtube video. Maybe even two of them, in fact. They haven't posted much, generally. But the explanation as for the history of capitalism, or an explanation, not really, just a what is a corporation? No breadtuber has that analysis. This is it. This is it. I would cite one thing from Plastic Pills. When it comes to what do you call it, like the origin of capitalism in a sense, with the Muscovy company, and that gets mentioned in this video as well. But this one goes into specifics of like salmon versus salmon. If anyone doesn't know that, that's when the British made corporations, people. Very, very, very important. Again, 700 subs. 700, maybe the most important Breadtube video. 700 subs on the channel. Colormind does video essays from time to time. They've been doing a lot of collabs and podcasts recently, but video analysis about main character economy, video analysis about game theory. I don't really remember that one, honestly. The main one, though, is Mutual Aid IMO. Just talking about praxis. But, again, somewhat up and coming, but also, are they doing video essays still? Kinda. Blonde Politics. Blonde Politics popped off with Dark Gothic MAGA, explaining how, what would you call it? What would you call it? Oh, like patchwork, like Curtis Yarvin shit. Theory is like somewhat in action, which is concerning, and sort of rung the bell. So and then MAGA doing freaking sympathetic magic in a sense, which is sort of like basically talking about how Nick Fuentes somewhat copies Donald Trump's sort of vibe. It just niche, small. I mean, they got a bunch of subs obviously from the Dark MAGA video because I got 2 point. But they have a 2-part series on Netanyahu, which are really, really good. And there's supposed to be a 3rd episode, but that hasn't come out yet. But these Netanyahu videos, I mean, if you haven't already seen that, I have playlists. If you go to this channel that you're watching right now's playlists, and then you go to the history of Palestine, them 2 videos will definitely be in there. And it's just very enlightening videos that you won't see anywhere, like that has information that you won't see anywhere else. RP Park. This is somewhat a newer-ish YouTuber that I've come across. I guess 9 months ago, because I saw this one and I think it dropped. But critiquing AI, parasociality, and I guess addiction and aura in a sense. I don't exactly know why I put it in this. I mean, I guess they're... And maybe I put this in the wrong tab, I think. Because I could have put this with the, like, still up and coming. They're not exactly gone. But yeah, check them out, I guess. And then the last one, Anna C. Webster. They have this video on the labor history in America. And it differentiates the styles of unions. It just goes into just a lot of black and white images. If you haven't seen, like, I want to stop at a thumbnail, but if you haven't seen kids with sachets, what would you call it? Like sashes that are like mums on strike, something like that. Mums on strike. Then this has that in that wherever the image is. But like, you know, the whole of the society, I guess, in America were pro-union, pro-strike. I think this might be it. Will that be it? Can I get there? Oh, right here, yeah. Don't be a scab. Or like, I don't know if I can find the other one that I'm somewhat mouthing over. There, Mum is on strike. School is out. We are helping Mum. Mum is on strike. Don't cross our Mum's picket line. One video on a 1.5k sub YouTube channel. And yeah, this shit just needs amplifying, man. Like, please, I don't even know what to say. Nobody's probably gonna get this far in the YouTube video that I'm watching, but hey. Philosophy Breadtube. Okay, so there's a couple I threw in here. Might have missed some. But Plastic Pills, Epoch Philosophy, CCK Philosophy. CCK Philosophy is the Marxism analysis of Shrek guy. Most people know him by. But videos are based AF. Generally just based AF. Just explaining away a lot of whatever the case may be. Neoliberalism bad. Yeah, just the usual. Clark Ellison, a lot of Lacan, which is necessary, I think, for the left to somewhat start to appreciate. Also, healthcare, and just like psychology, but philosophy. Similar to Duncan Clark. You want to read books? Every single freaking classic, maybe not every single famous classic book that you should know ever since like 400 or I don't even know. Just if you want to read books, bro, get out. Someone get Elliot to watch that. It's so many books. It's not even funny. Anyway, general. You could say that this YouTube is a general video essayist, but again, philosophy-ish. Breadtube. Shannon also has a Gidbor situationist analysis of I mean, this is like a book club sort of situation, right? So yeah, check them out. Then and Now, turned lib, sadly, I think, somewhere along the lines. I think after their Kant video and their German history video, they were like, oh, but then after that, they still explain, you know, internet stolen, red pill gets shit wrong, you know, video on Hegel, video on Marx. Like they're still doing videos about capitalism being generally bad, fascism being generally completely bad. But their old material is far more like left leaning, I would say. And just yeah. Although I'm sure they had their little lib inside them still, but you know, critiques of the police, you know, analysis of the culture industry, philosophy. Plastic Pills obviously being, they're kind of getting noticed more and more because they're doing more like recent events analysis. Plastic Pills is, but the backlog is hopefully someone's checking them out. Someone will figure it out. I don't know. Still posting. 8 days ago, whatever. Breadtube is not dead. I think that's it. Wait, let me just check on my windows. Yeah, nah, yeah. So I don't know whether the Elliot's. Oh, I think it would be on his second channel, right? This is what's triggered this video. Breadtube is dead. Read books instead. Maybe they're just leaning into a rhyme, and I'm taking it too seriously. But think again. And if you need any more suggestions, which I'm sure you don't, but there's the playlist, so you can visit my Twitch stream. You do you. And yeah. Sorry that there's no background songs, I guess. I haven't really figured that one out. But enjoy.